Greetings guys and gals, this is XIJABERWALKIX bringing you the best in SC Gaming. Today we have another OSL matchup. This is going to be Group D, Modesty versus Fantasy, played on the 8th of December on Icarus. It looks like Fantasy is going to be spawning at the 5:30, 6 o'clock position as the yellow Terran, and Modesty is going to be spawning at the 2 o'clock position as the red Zerg. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of you guys don't like me casting OSL or MSL stuff just because Nuke usually has OSL stuff covered and Ranchin usually has MSL stuff covered, I believe. So, you know, obviously I would want to cast the Pro League, but I just can't get VODs. I just can't get any recent VODs. I might, you know, if my source, usually nevake doesn't upload tomorrow, and I'm not like trying to say that it's his fault that I'm not doing it, because obviously him uploading VODs is awesome and it allows me to get my videos out in a timely fashion. But if there's no new VODs uploaded for the Shinhan Pro League, I'm probably going to just screen cap off of another person I know and get you videos that way. I'm going to have to kind of mute the sound just because there is some background noise in a lot of those videos. Anyways, Overlord Scout going in the wrong direction, I believe, so not going to scout Fantasy with that Overlord. I believe Icarus is one of those maps that there's 4 spawning positions, 2 at the top right and 2 at the bottom left, and it looks like Modesty is going for that one at the left hand side of the bottom left, and we're gonna have to see what type of build he goes. I can't see this mini map. It looks like he went for a 12 hatch though, definite 12 hatch going on there. SCV Scout coming out for Fantasy. I want to see what he put down to see what kind of tech he is going, either if it's going to be a 1 racks into CC. Puts his racks down, so it probably, in all likelihood, is going to be a 1 racks into CC, as he has not gotten his gas. So we are going to probably see some Medic Marines. Hatchery going down after that, spawning pool going down after that hatch. And really this is going to turn into kind of the Medic Marine play versus the probably, I'd say, Spire Tech, so probably Mutalisk, something like that. Or he could possibly go for Lurker Ling off of this build, getting his Extractor as well. It's not yet double expanded. It looks like that might be what that, well, it looks like that's probably an Overlord going to that top position there. But he might be going for a double expand like most Zergs do, although it's kind of less likely, or less frequent, I guess, for them to double expand very, very soon, unlike they do against Protoss. Usually Forge Fast Expand means that, you know, the Zerg player is going to double expand, and, you know, it can be a little bit different in terms of PvT and TVP. 1 racks into CC definitely going down. Now he has planted down in that command center at his natural, and so you know, it's almost 100% that he's going to go for these Medic Marines. Layer Tech already morphing in, so probably going to go for a early-ish Spire, but going to try to get some mutas out to deal with those Medic Marines, as he has not yet expanded to another position. Only is at 2 bases, which is tied with the Terran player, which, as Zerg, as I always say, that's not where you want to be. You want to be at least 1 base ahead, you know, in Starcraft 1 at least, when you're playing Terran, and even Protoss, but it's really more critical against Terran, because Terran can really just turtle up and macro up and then have one big push where they push out. There are 3 drones on that gas, so, which is what he really needs. He really needs at least 1 gas. Probably is going to pick up his 2nd gas as well. Might even be putting some Sun Colonies at the front, though, to deter any kind of forces that are going to be coming out for Fantasy, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like he's just going to kind of drone up, keep those 3 Zerglings in the base, or 4 Zerglings rather, and try to pick off this SCV. Oh, man! Nice micro there from Fantasy, but no, the drone gets in his way, and he's able to pick off that SCV. Another Rax going down, and finally getting his gas. So a little bit, not late gas, but I mean, you know, later than you would go if you were going for any type of mech play. Putting down another supply, not a supply depot, an academy, so he's going to be able to get out some medics and firebats, as well as probably going to get firebats later, but he's probably going to get medics and marines, and is probably going to get a comsat as well if he sees that Hydralisk Den. Now we have SCV going up. Might be doing some hidden tech or proxy barracks or something. Might be looking for bases though. We might be seeing if Modesty has yet expanded to another base. We see he has expanded at that 4 o'clock position, so he's going to be at 3 bases very shortly, while Fantasy is still at 2, building an engineering base, so he's probably expecting mutas from what I can tell, or he could be going for a +1 weapons upgrade, but I'm expecting him to assume that Modesty is in fact going mutas, and that he's going to be putting some missile turrets up in his base. The Spire is going down now, so he's probably going to commit to this muta build. You know, usually a lot of times in versus Protest, they'll put their Spire and then immediately their Hydralisk Den so they can get lurkers out, and they use the Spire for Scourge against the Corsairs. But usually in TVZ, players go for that Spire tech and get the Hydralisk Den a little bit later, just so they can really get some Mutalisks, a good number of Mutalisks out to attack those Medic Marine forces. So we do see our first medics out now, another bunker going up at the front for Fantasy, so he feels a little bit threatened, feels like he has to play a little bit more defensively. And man, those two people are looking on very intently. They're like almost praying for one of the players. I'm assuming it's for Fantasy, because you know Fantasy is a pretty popular player. He's been overlooked. I feel like he's been really overlooked comparatively. Here come the first Mutalisk coming in here, gonna be able to pick off this SCV, but no, they're probably not gonna be able to. Medic Marine forces just come in just in the nick of time. It looks like they did pick off that SCV, but that missile turret's gonna go up very, very shortly anyways, and they're not gonna be able to get in there. I'm pretty sure there's only 6 mutas, which is really not enough of a critical force. He does have an extractor going up at that third base, so he's going to have a lot of gas now, almost able to pick off that SCV, but not quite. There are 2 missile turrets there, 1 Zergling running in just to get a scout off, and he sees that there are 2 bunkers, I believe, which is going to be very hard. He could do a run-by. I don't think that second bunker could attack the run-by the Zerglings if they ran by on that right-hand side, but I don't think that's a good viable option. I think that you would lose a lot of units, and those Medic Marines would just absolutely tear through those Zerglings, building more missile turrets, so making sure that he's very secure. His middle line is not going to get harassed at the very least, but he's actually kind of committing to this attack, taking out 1 missile turret, not able to take out the other one, and Medic Marine forces coming in again, and he's able to take out the second one. Is getting some kills off on some Marines and doing a lot of damage actually. Picking off a medic as well, probably going to be able to pick off 2 more medics. Wow, doing a nice job of just picking off those medics, and that's really going to hurt Fantasy a little bit. He shouldn't, you know, kind of move in here. He's taking a lot of hits for those missile turrets, not really getting any hits off himself, which is very unfortunate. Taking a hit off on the barracks, taking an SCV out on gas, is able to take out another missile turret building, and is able to take out, we get another SCV. Man, he's already got like 4 SCV kills, so doing a very nice job of harassment. 6, probably 6 is what I counted, and that's a lot of damage for Fantasy. Fantasy is, you know, looking a little bit worried because he kind of messed up on his Marine micro, I believe. He just really wasn't, you know, paying attention, thought that his missile turrets could kind of defend him, and he wasn't really sticking to his defense with the Marines or anything. It looks like he's going to go for a Mutaling type play. Has not yet got his Hydralisk done, I don't believe. His Mutals are very low on health. Has another group of Mutals come in here and try to do a little bit of harassment. Able to pick off one of the Marines. Almost able to pick off another one, but no, one of his Mutals gets picked off as well. Able to pick off one of the medics, which is very good. Able to pick off yet another Marine. So picking off forces, doing a very nice job of keeping Fantasy on his toes. Fantasy is now getting up his factory, probably going to get some siege takes out, or vultures at the very least to try to harass Modesty's probe line, but Modesty is doing a very nice job here, just coming in full-fledged A move, attacking these turrets here, doing a lot of damage, able to take out 2, able to take out 3, almost able to take out the first one, pulling one of those mutas, doing a very nice job of not losing too many mutas. Doesn't want to lose this group though, able to get just the last shot off on those missile turrets here, and he's going to be kind of able to A move in. He has a lot of mutalists, they're attacking the missile turrets, another missile turret gets up just in the nick of time, is able to deter these mutals just for now, like 4 or 5 mutas just coming in, is going to be able to take down this engineering bay. That's going to be really bad. Fantasy's going to have to build another engineering base somewhere, at least start it, and he's, for at least the time being, he's not going to be able to build any missile turrets, and this is going to be so bad for Fantasy, man. He's losing SCVs, a lot of SCVs, and at 2 bases, you know, you really can't lose a lot of SCVs at either of your bases, because that pretty much puts you at 1 base to the Zerg's 3, and although you're going to have more saturation at each of those bases, that's not in that's not a position you want to be in. He's building that engineering bay at his natural, also getting a starport as well, so probably not going to go for any type of factory play, at least yet. He has lifted that factory, so nothing's going to be coming out of there, and so he's going to go for starport units, probably going to go for you know, wraiths is what I'm assuming. I don't really know what other option he has other than wraiths. You know, I mean, I guess you could go Valkyries, but Valkyries are kind of sketch because a lot of times their AI gets mixed up, and a lot of the missiles that you see aren't actually missiles that are going to hit. That's why they're not really effective against battlecruisers, as Cholera said in one of his videos 1 or 2 years ago. that they still have not patched, because there hasn't been a patch out for Broodwar in like forever, because you know, they got it to where it's pretty much 100% balanced. But the fact of the matter is Valkyries are not very good. I mean, they could probably be pretty good, decent against mutas, but I know for a fact that they are not very good against battle cruisers, just because they're like, a lot of their missiles actually don't hit. But I think against mutas they're pretty effective. Although it's, you know, it's kind of like all-in defense when you go for Valkyries, just because they really have no other use. You could go some Hydras. Zerg can switch tech so quickly. They're going to be able to take out this missile turret and probably harass this mineral line too, which is just going to be really bad for Fantasy, man. Able to take out 2 SCVs. Probably going to be able to take out this controller tower if he really wanted to. And, you know, Fantasy's not reinforcing with these Marines at all. I really think that what he's doing is he's trying to keep them in the middle ground, so you know, he doesn't get overcommitted on the left-hand side and leaves his base on the right open. But there's 4 missile turrets taking a lot of free missile turrets hits. Oh man, Modesty just running his Mutalist through a gauntlet of missile turrets, and wow, he has macroed up a lot of mutas, man. He's just really committed to this muta attack. Does have his Hydra and probably is going to switch tech pretty soon to Lurkers, is what I'm assuming, or he really could even go Mass Hydra, even though you don't see that a lot against Terran players. If he went Mass Hydra, that would be pretty effective, because there aren't any siege tanks out. That factory is lifted up, and you know, some Mass Hydra could just do work here. We do see the Valkyrie, so that Valkyrie is going to be able to do some damage to those Mutalists. Only built 1 though, did not get any more race, and so that Valkyrie is going to be able to do some good defense against those Mutalists. But to keep in mind, if it was like higher tech, like carriers or like battle cruisers or something, those Valkyries would be just terrible, and that's why you don't see Valkyries very much, because Valkyries are really only good against you know, light air units, which is like I guess you could say Wraiths and other Valkyries and Mutalisks and like Scouts, I guess. I mean, I guess they could be pretty effective against a massive Corsairs, but I think a massive Corsairs against a massive Vikings would, I don't know actually. I don't really know. I'm not too experienced with Vikings or Corsairs versus Vikings, so if anyone knows who would win if you had even number of Vikings and I mean, not Vikings, I keep saying Vikings or Starcraft 2, Valkyries and Corsairs, you should let me know in the comments below. And what your opinion on Valkyries are, just all together, because, you know, a lot of players don't use them. They usually go for Wraiths, for anti-air, and here come the Valkyries doing a lot of damage, because Valkyries just, you know, they fire, so their rate of fire is just so fast. They will do a lot of damage. Here come the more Mutalists, though. The Mutalists are going to have to back up. There are Lurkers out in the field now, and Fantasy needs to be very, very careful not to run into these Lurkers. His force is very, very fragile as of you know, this point in the game, because he really is kind of in a weird tech switch where he went for some Valkyries and is probably going to get out some Science Vessels, is what I'm assuming. But now these Valkyries are going to go down to these Mutalisks. Oh man, retreating, does not get the last hit. Really should have got that last hit. Would have not taken nearly as much damage as he did if he would have got like pretty much 1 or 2 hits off on that Valkyrie more. Only 2 Mutalisks is what he would have needed to destroy those Valkyries, and now that they're going to be repaired, which is very bad, dropship out now as well. He has gotten armory, so might be even going some Goliaths, is what I'm assuming, just because of that armory being there. You know, it's probably not for upgrades, just because of the well, I mean, it could be for upgrades, but you know, he doesn't have a lot of factory units. I guess it could be for like air upgrades, something like that, if he's really going to commit to this Valkyrie defense here. But I don't know, to be honest. And it looks like, oh my gosh, slow Overlord drop is what we're going to see here. Not good for Fantasy. This is like epic, man. That base distance is so slow, and those almost the Mutalists just getting hits off from those Valkyries. And here come the Lurkers. He's going to have to pull his SCVs. Oh man, doesn't pull his SCVs nearly in time. What are you doing, Fantasy? Doesn't pull his SCVs at all, and these Lurkers are just mowing through all of his forces. He did drop on one of Modesty's bases, but really this isn't going to matter too much, as the Lurkers in the main for Modesty are just mauling through all of Fantasy's forces, and this force is going to get taken out fairly easily. But I don't know why he's not committing. Oh, because he's waiting for his ground forces. It's like, I don't know why he's not committing to this attack, man. He could really take out these forces fairly easily. Waiting for the ground forces, definitely smart though. And he's coming back in. We have siege tanks out. You know, 1 siege tank and a few Marines, but honestly, this is not going to be enough. And he's attacking at the front as well. Oh, good, surrounded all these forces. Oh my gosh, Fantasy, epic fail in micro, man. You were just I mean, he's overextended is what it is. He's trying to do too many things at once. He's getting attacked too many places at once, and able to take out that front bunker. Only 2 Marines in there. These lurkers should probably move in, is just my opinion. But Modesty's looking very, very confident, and he should. He's just doing so much damage. He's attacking at 2 fronts, doing a very nice job of macroing both areas, and he's just doing so much damage. He's had to lift up his base, and these SCVs are going to be, going to have to run, but they're going to have nowhere to go because there's no base over there. It's just doing so much damage. They're going to be able to take down the supply depot as well. And Fantasy, man, Fantasy, after he's been playing so well for SKT, is probably going to lose this match, which is very unfortunate. He's dropping on that middle base for Modesty. Modesty looks like he's picked up that at top right. We have Defilers out in the field now, and it's pretty much over, man. With that one swarm, he is going to pretty much take out that force with a few lings. Armory is going to go down, and just all the tech is just going down. He's going to be only able to make Marines, which are not going to be effective against units in the storm. He's not going to be able to even make fire bats to deal with that, and I'm really surprised he hasn't GG'd. He's really just staying in it because he wants to win. And Fantasy, man, he doesn't want to GG because this is really important to him. This is like, this is the OSL, the transition OSL. I mean, the one before was kind of a transition OSL with Flash winning and everything, but this one is really, there's a lot less players who tried out for the OSL and a lot, fewer players, and so he knows that his career could very well be at an end, and he wants to make the most of it. All the players want to make the most of it. They all have that kind of tension in the back of their minds about, this might be my only chance, this might be my last chance before we all switch over to Starcraft 2, or we all go on to, different things. Anyway, Modesty over Fantasy, doing a very nice job, double attack there, and that's game, guys. GG.